Oh my goodness, I'm feeling very inspired right now. I had a revelation this morning and have been talking to my friends from USC about it, and I just want to share it with you guys. If you have the time, please listen. This is all about listening to your own intuition, doing what you want in life, and not letting anyone, anything, society, whatever it is, change your direction in life, change what you want, and have control over you. So growing up, especially in high school, I was definitely the cookie cutter kid. I went to a private high school, college, preparatory school. I was a part of sports. I was in newspaper. I was in student government. I was class president one year. I did everything. I volunteered. Anything that would look good on a college resume, I did. At the time, I was very unhappy because my motive was basically college for everything. I didn't think there was anything wrong with this because everyone else had the same goal. It was definitely really confusing because I was like, why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? But everyone around me seems to be doing the same thing, so this must be normal. So I started normalizing my poor mental health, all in the hopes of getting into college. How bizarre is that? So one thing I do want to say is you're gonna get into college. Take that pressure off, because if you want to go to college, you will get into a college. So fast forward, I got into USC, and by the time I got to campus, I was still unhappy. I was at my dream school studying my dream major, engineering, and I was still very unhappy. I didn't know what it was because it seems like everything I worked for finally came into place. My first year of college is when I started my yoga sculpt teacher training. And I remember, and I'll insert screenshots because I had a Finsta at the time where I would post like my thoughts and just anything that was on my mind, just basically overshared on that account. But I'm kind of glad I did, because in a way it was me manifesting, just putting it into the universe. This yoga sculpt training is my #1 priority right now. It's the only thing in my life that is bringing me happiness, making me feel passionate about something, giving me a sense of belonging. And I knew it was something that would teach me life skills that I could carry with me for the rest of my life. So I did some reflection, and I noticed school was making me very unhappy. I noticed that I was getting to the point where I was just slatering everything. My math problems, I would put them into my computer and I would get the answer. It sort of felt like everyone was just trying to get through it and just pass. None of us wanted to fail. All of us were so used to being these perfect students in high school that in college we did whatever we could to still get that good grade, even if it meant we weren't learning. In high school, it was all about getting into college, and now that I got there, it's like, okay, what now? The major I chose, engineering, I simply chose it because I liked math and I liked physics, and everyone told me go into engineering, so that's what I did. And all along I sort of knew that I couldn't see myself being an engineer, and even my dad would say, Tiana, you're not like the engineers I see in the office. I do want to bring up a concept that my friend Evie told me, and she said something she's working on is not putting limits on things that you want to do just because someone else is telling you that it's not the right thing to do, or it's not going to make you more money, or you're not going to be successful in it. It doesn't make sense to immediately put limits and say, okay, that's off bounds. Like, no, I can't do that because someone said that I'm not going to make enough money. But if that's bringing you happiness, what's the point of staying in your comfort zone in an area that's not bringing you happiness? When you yourself, you already know what brings you happiness, but someone else is telling you, no, don't do that. But why would you listen to them? Why are you giving them that power to take away your happiness just because it's not going to make you enough money, just because it's not going to make you successful? Everyone defines success differently. Money does not equal success. Personally, for me, success is happiness. I found so much success in yoga because I was happy. And I think that is truly how I got to where I am, because I followed my intuition, and when I did, that's when success came to me. So recently, I've been theming around trust. And trust is so important. I'm sure most of you also look for that in a partner, in a friend, in a relationship, whatever it is, you want to find trust. But something that I didn't realize until now is that trust starts with you. Just like self-care, just like self-confidence, it all starts with you. I used to be the type of person that would be like, oh, I'm jaded, like I have my guards up, I have trust issues, like I've had my trust broken way too many times. Like, you have to earn my trust. First, you shouldn't be blaming past experiences on any new ones. and you should constantly be staying present and just taking it moment by moment. You know what's best for you. All you have is you at the end of the day and your intuition. Once you let something else, some person manipulate your intuition and manipulate your mind into thinking that you need something else or you want something else, that's when you've betrayed yourself. And that's hard to accept, but it's true. Every decision is yours. This is your life. Once you give that power to someone else, something, that's when you've broken your own trust. This trust that I have with myself is the same trust that I can feel for other people. Then it's easier to let those walls down, to be more open, to be more compassionate, and to take the next experience as its own without letting a previous experience taint that one. I know that this is sort of all over the place. We went from school to talking about trust, but how do we bring the two together? I'm in engineering. You don't really see that. Like what you see on my Instagram is fitness, self-confidence, body positivity, mental health, because these are the things I'm passionate about. I should rewind to my first year of college where I was feeling very depressed and I didn't understand why when I was studying my dream major at my dream school, surrounded by very intelligent, hardworking people, yet I felt so alone. And it wasn't until I realized that engineering is not what I want to do forever. And that's a really scary thought to think about and to even have. I remember freaking out. I remember thinking, holy crap, I got into college, I declared my major, and I'm not happy, yet I'm stuck. I felt so stuck. I was like, I don't even have my parents with me to like cry about this with. I felt like I had wasted so much time. Everyone goes to college for different reasons and everyone is on their own path. One of the major factors that made me realize that maybe engineering isn't my forever thing were the career fairs. So I would walk around campus and there'd be a big Viterbi. Oh, by the way, I go to USC studying engineering in Viterbi. Viterbi is the name of the School of Engineering at USC, but Viterbi would always put on these career fairs. KPMG, Google, Tesla, you name it, every big tech company was there. I remember walking past and just thinking, I really don't see myself in any of these companies, working for any of these jobs. That sort of made me feel even more depressed because I was thinking, wait, this is the career fair, so this is what my career should be. And that scared me because not only was I questioning my major, I was also questioning my school, where I was going with my career, just everything. It was very scary because it seems like everyone else around me wanted these big jobs at these huge tech corporations, but that's not what I wanted. And I remember in this one class, on the first day, we had to go around the room just saying what we wanted to do with our careers and where we saw ourselves in the future. And I remember getting so scared when it came to my turn because in my head I was thinking, okay, do I talk about how I see myself like opening a yoga studio and just being a yoga instructor and traveling and all this stuff? Or do I say, yeah, I think I want to work at a tech company? So I had just no idea what to say. I think I ended up saying I would want to work for Patagonia because that was the only thing I could think at that moment that sort of connects like this outdoor, active lifestyle, but yet still has that foundation of engineering and innovation and quality. But my professor could definitely tell that I was unsure with that answer. That just goes to show that there is a lot of pressure. That story just now was me betraying my own trust. I said something that I knew I didn't believe in and I knew I didn't want, yet I felt like I needed to fit in and to belong. I'm so glad that I'm at a point where I know that's not what I want, and if that question were to be asked of me now, I would not say that. But what would I say? I have no idea yet, and that's okay. Another thing that my friend Evie was telling me, she was telling me the story about a lawyer who finished law school, and as you know, that's a lot of school, and he didn't want to be a lawyer, but he got his job and he was just very unhappy, but he knew that he had gone through all that school and it would sort of feel like a waste if he didn't choose being a lawyer as his career. And then when he came to the point of retiring, he realized that he should have listened to his intuition right out of grad school and switched his career path, because at that point he had wasted way more time than he had felt when he first made that realization. In the moment when you're facing this challenging dilemma or this split road where you don't know where to go, it's easy to betray your own intuition and choose where everyone else thinks it's right or where everyone else wants you to go. now, once you go on that wrong pathway, you are so much further from that one path that you wanted to go to. And once that splits, it's harder to go back. The reason why I wanted to talk about this, as I'm coming up in my last year of college, I've been getting a lot of questions. All right, so are you gonna work in LA? Are you gonna come back home? Are you gonna work at an engineering firm? Are you sticking with yoga? What is the deal? And honestly, I don't know. But I know that what I have going on right now is making me unbelievably happy. I wake up and I live my life, yet I am making money throughout the entire day from simply being me. And I've never felt more fulfilled, more successful, more motivated ever. And this has only happened since COVID started. That just shows that anything can happen like that. And time is something that you shouldn't let dictate your decisions, your career choices, any life decision at all. You shouldn't worry about time, because time is always going to be on your side, whether you know it or not. I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I have turned all of my passions into sort of a career for myself, yet I still don't feel like I'm working. I technically am 24/7. Whenever I'm posting, that's work. Whenever I'm teaching, that's work. Whenever I'm sequencing, that's considered work. Everything I do is ultimately going to bring me income in return, but that's just a bonus because I want to be doing these things. Think about whether you want to be putting work out to receive not only this income back, but this happiness, because that happiness is priceless, and that's better than any salary you can get. I used to feel embarrassed that engineering, math, science, data analysis, Excel sheets, system processing, I used to be embarrassed that those things weren't my passion. I used to be embarrassed because everyone else around me, they were into that and they were like crunching numbers like freaking Doritos and whatever, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is not where I want to be, and I just want to go back to Sculpt. I just want to go back outside and like go for a run. And that's okay if you feel these same feelings and you feel like you don't belong in the classroom and you don't feel like these assignments are what you need. Once you become aware of these thoughts, you can then make that decision to maybe steer in a different direction, maybe shift your perspective. Hey, you don't have to be into data analysis, but this can still be a good thing to learn and just have in your toolbox, but it doesn't have to be your main tool. So that's another thing that I want to talk about. I love engineering still, don't get me wrong. Love going to school specifically for learning and just stimulating my mind. If you're feeling these feelings, that is the first step in the right direction. Because from here on, you need to manifest. You need to figure out your how, your when, your what. Listen to your body and trust the process, and trust you most importantly. Make your own decisions. Don't let anyone, anything control that. Don't let anyone control your life. You only have one. So use this life to create a beautiful story and freaking pursue those passions, and just know that you're gonna figure it out. So let me know if you enjoy these talks. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any feedback or anything else you want me to talk about, please leave it below. I really want to talk more about my depression and my anxiety and just how I deal with it, and maybe what factors I think have contributed to it and how I'm learning and growing. So Chewy is waiting for me to play with him, so I hope you have a good rest of your week and carry this with you throughout the rest of the week, throughout the rest of the month and the year. But yes, have a great one. Namaste, and I'll see you maybe in class or just on Instagram. I just wanted to make this clear that I do not regret going into engineering. I do not regret going to college. I do not regret anything, in fact, because I know that this has taught me everything that I'm feeling and everything that I'm realizing, and I am so grateful for that. And it's all a part of the process. I wouldn't have had these realizations if I didn't go into engineering. I know that when I graduate with this degree, I can take it with me. I can always come back to it, and it's just always going to be there for me. So I'm so grateful. And I'm also in a major, it's called Industrial Systems Engineering, and it's pretty broad, and I know that I can apply it to any workplace I go into. So it's very reassuring that I know that even if I do want to take on the fitness route, I can apply my engineering to that. I can optimize whatever system there is that is required in my future career path. I can optimize it. I can bring my business and my engineering skills and ultimately do more than I could if I didn't go to college. So I just want to make that clear. I'm so grateful for my education. I love school. I love it so much. But there are things that I love aside from school that make me love life even more.